Sean Diddy Combs is exploding in anger and lighting up the entire entertainment world after launching one of his most aggressive attacks yet, firing directly at Netflix and longtime rival 50 Cent. The reason? Their explosive upcoming docuseries Sean Combs' The Reckoning, which Diddy is calling nothing short of a shameful hit piece, a deliberate character assassination built on stolen footage, illegal use of private materials, and what he describes as a personal vendetta dressed up as a documentary. His team released a blistering statement on December 1st, 2025, only 24 hours before the documentary's global premiere, and instantly ignited a firestorm online. The statement accused Netflix of crossing every possible line by using private recordings and archived footage that Diddy claims he never authorized for public release. These clips, according to a spokesperson, include deeply personal moments, confidential conversations, behind-the-scenes video logs, and even sensitive discussions with his legal counsel. And if that wasn't enough, his team added that some of this footage dates all the way back to when Diddy began documenting his life as a teenager, a decades-long personal archive that he says Netflix ripped apart for profit. In the statement, their team declares Netflix's documentary is fundamentally unfair, manipulative, and illegal. They accuse the streaming giant of sensationalizing every aspect of his life, ignoring nuance, and intentionally crafting a narrative that portrays him in the worst possible light while he sits behind bars, with little ability to respond in real time. They say Netflix is capitalizing on the media frenzy surrounding his recent trial, exploiting his vulnerability, and turning the darkest moments of his life into what they call a global spectacle. And then comes 50 Cent, the gasoline on this already blazing fire. Diddy's team did not hold back at all when addressing the involvement of Curtis 50 Cent Jackson. They call him a longtime adversary with a deeply rooted personal vendetta, someone who has spent decades taking shots at Diddy on social media, in interviews, and through public stunts. His inclusion as the executive producer of the Netflix series, according to Diddy's camp, is not just suspicious, it's insulting. They say entrusting creative control to someone who has been publicly mocking and attacking Diddy for years is staggering, biased, and a betrayal by Netflix, a company Diddy once considered trustworthy. But Netflix and the docuseries team aren't backing down. Director Alexandria Stapleton has been standing by the legitimacy of the project. She insists that every piece of footage was legally obtained, that the production holds the rights, and that they reached out to Diddy's legal team multiple times for comments, attempts that, according to her, were ignored or never responded to. She claims they made efforts to protect certain individuals and handled sensitive material carefully. She also explains that the documentary isn't a personal attack, but a multifaceted portrait built with interviews from former staff, partners, associates, insiders, and individuals who once were close to Diddy, people who say they are finally ready to speak out. But one moment in the teaser is creating the biggest controversy of all, a never-before-heard audio recording from September 2024, just days before Diddy's arrest. In the clip, Diddy is heard saying, "We need to find someone who will work with us who has worked in the dirtiest of dirty business. We are losing." Netflix uses it as a dramatic anchor point in the trailer, a moment that implies panic, desperation, and possible guilt. But Diddy's team says this clip is wildly taken out of context, edited to appear sinister, and used intentionally to frame him as scheming or afraid. His lawyers say the audio had nothing to do with any allegations and that Netflix is manipulating the conversation to boost the emotional punch of the documentary trailer. And all of this comes at a time when the world is already watching Diddy closely. Earlier this year, he faced a federal trial that dominated headlines across the country. Although the jury acquitted him of racketeering and sex trafficking-related charges, he was found guilty on 2 counts under the Mann Act for transportation for prostitution. The conviction led to a 50-month prison sentence and a $500,000 fine. With the trial, the verdict, and the sentencing still fresh in the public's mind, the release of this documentary feels to many people like the final strike, the moment that could solidify or completely destroy the public's perception of him. And that's exactly why his team believes the timing is no coincidence. They argued that Netflix fast-tracked the release to capitalize on his fall, dropping it when global attention around his case is at its peak. They say the company is exploiting his incarceration, releasing the documentary in a moment when he cannot go on talk shows, cannot give interviews, and cannot fight back in real time. His team calls the timing strategic, intentional, and cruel. Meanwhile, 50 Cent has been fanning the flames online, reposting memes, cracking jokes, and celebrating the docuseries as if it were a prize fight he's finally won after years of rivalry. This isn't just entertainment for him, it's deeply personal. The feud between Diddy and 50 Cent is nearly 2 decades old, stretching across diss tracks, public insults, social media posts, and ongoing jabs about money, scandals, and influence. For 50 Cent, this documentary seems like another opportunity to take aim at someone he's been sparring with since the early 2000s. Social media is a battlefield right now. Fans are debating nonstop. Some defending Diddy, saying he's being targeted unfairly, while others believe the Netflix doca is uncovering truths that have been whispered in the industry for years. Comment sections are filled with people calling for accountability, others calling for fairness, and many simply waiting for the documentary to drop so they can see for themselves. What makes this moment so volatile is that there are now 3 competing narratives. Diddy's version, where he's being exploited and framed, Netflix's version, claiming they're revealing long-hidden truths, and 50 Cent's version, which mixes exposure with entertainment and rivalry. Diddy is furious. Netflix is standing firm. 50 Cent is celebrating. The internet is divided. The public is waiting. And the truth, whatever it is caught somewhere in the middle. As the world counts down to the global premiere of Sean Combs' The Reckoning, one massive question hangs over Hollywood like a storm cloud. Who gets to tell the story? The man living it? The people accusing him? Or the billion-dollar platform broadcasting it to the world?